Hey there, Patriots. Welcome to the front lines. Is Death Watch here to give you guys more intel so you can update your personal armory and fight back against the fake news media machine. And imagine hating your own fan base, right? Sabotaging your own work, your life's work, the work that you got, that you created, right? Your baby that you created that has given you this much of a fan base to then sabotage it and attack your own fans for not liking it. Imagine that, right? You're a writer. You created a popular book series. You amassed a huge fan base. A producer then comes up to you, right? A producer or a group of producers come up to you and say, hey, we see that your book series is popular. We want to make this a TV series. You then accept that deal, but when it comes down to the casting of the characters that you have openly, right? You not only have you openly described who these characters are, how they should look, how they act, how their personalities are, you also have your own visual novels showing exactly how these characters should look. From your mind, from your mind onto the page. This is exactly how you view these characters, right? And your fans who have essentially fell in love with these character designs, these characters descriptions, how these characters actually look. Your fans love it and they're happy to see this book series get put on the big screen, right? As a TV series or whatever, right? Then you decide, oh, well, I'm going to make some major changes to it. And when the fans come out and say, why are you doing this? We don't like it. You're destroying your own source material. What's going on here? You then decide to deflect a lot of that criticism as they're either harassing the new actor that you have that you hired to portray this character, or you're a racist, right? You call your own fans a bunch of racists, and you say yourself, right, that you're a racist as well. Does that make sense to you? I don't know pronounce this. Rick Riordan admits he's a racist and calls his own fans racist over wanting accurate source material casting. Okay, this is the creator of Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson Olympians novelist Rick Riordan made the bizarre argument that he's a racist in order to justify calling his own fans racist for being critical of the race swap casting of Leah Jeffries in the role of Annabeth Chase for upcoming Disney Plus series, right? So this is Annabeth Chase. She is the demigod daughter of the Greek goddess Athena and girlfriend of Percy Jackson, right? This is how she looks. This is how she was described by Rick in his own books. He then comes out with his own visual novel showing off this is exactly how the characters look from my head onto page by creators being able to envision what is going on in my head. And then when he gets his TV series, right? How does the character look? This is Leia Jeffries, right? And again, I'm just gonna say this, right? She doesn't deserve any of the criticism because she is just a young actress, right? Her agents went out there and they saw, hey, somebody, a female of this age range is needed for a role, right? The agents are gonna do what they're hired to do is to get their client jobs, right? Casting calls, right? Get out there, do your stuff. Hopefully, you get picked. I'm doing my job, right? So she doesn't deserve any of this criticism, which I believe nobody's really criticizing her for just accepting a job. But a lot of the criticism is going to Rick here, who is using Leia as a minority shield to deflect all this criticism as you guys are just harassing her because she's black, right? Essentially what a lot of these tweets that I'm seeing, right? And then they're even escalating to the point that, well, these people are harassing her to the point that Leia is having to get her own, like, her TikTok account removed and has to operate under a different alias or whatever, right? A lot of this hasn't been proven to be true. A lot of the actual criticism seems to be directed directly at the creator of the book series. But this is what he had to say. I have been clear as the author that I was looking for the best actors to inhabit and bring to life the personalities of these characters, and that physical appearance was secondary for me. We did that. We took a year to do this process thoroughly and find the best of the best. The trio is the best. Leia Jeffries is Annabeth Chase, he asserted. But then he says the most stupidest thing right here. He then says the Percy Jackson author writes, some of you have apparently felt offended or exasperated when your objection are called out online as racist. But I am not racist, you say. It's not racist to want an actor who is accurate to the book's description of the character. Let's examine that statement. Right? Let me read that again for you guys, for the people in the back who didn't hear this. The people who are upset about this are being called racist, right? And they're like, bro, I'm not racist. I just want, an accurate depiction of the book, of the character that you written in your own book. And Rick right here saying that, well, for you're a racist for demanding that I stay true to my own work. What sense does that make? You describe your character as this. You've shown your character several times as being this, as looking like this. Now that you got this TV series, you're completely destroying what your character looks like, and it makes no sense because it's not accurate to the actual source material, which the source material is Greek gods. Okay? That's not accurate to your own works. That's not truth. That's not faithful to your work, but right? As a fan, you are essentially destroying the credibility of your own works in front of me, right? I don't like it. I think you should stick to what made this series popular in the first place. Well, you're just a racist for demanding that I stay true to my own character descriptions. As a creator, how the fuck does that make sense? You're sabotaging your own work, right? For what? This is going to be part 2. Who are these series actually for part 2? Because you created a book series. You amassed this huge fan base who all have been following your book series for a long time now. You have openly said that these are how my character should look like. I even release other visual novels retelling the same stories that I have written down to give more of a visual representation of what my character should look like, who the type of characters they interact with, to show a little bit more of how they actually act in how their personality should actually feel and things like that. And then when I get a TV series deal, I'm just going to change all that shit last minute. Hey guys, I'm gonna advertise this new TV series for all my fans. Hopefully you guys will come and check this out, but I'm going to change all my source material. What sense does that make? You just lost your own fan base, but and then when your fans come to you and say, hey, I don't like that, I don't think that's a good idea, why don't you just stick true to what has been advertised to us for all these years? Why don't you just stick to that? Well, because that's racist of me to do that, and it's very racist of you to sit here and tell me that I should stick to my character source material. That makes no sense. These people are literally shitting on their own fans, attacking their own fans. Okay, I would expect this type of crap from reboot series of like Lord of the Rings here, right? Tolkien is dead. Okay, he wrote these books and openly said, yeah, these are how my characters look. This is how they should act and all this other crap, right? The people who are now in charge of the Lord of the Rings series, they have no connections to Tolkien. They have essentially hijacked his work and is now changing everything, right? You can expect this type of shit from them, but from the actual creator, right? This is the creator of his own series sabotaging his own work in front of your eyes. In front of the fans, he's taking the works that has amassed him all this following. He's taking those works and changing them in front of his fans. And when his fans are telling him that we don't like this no more, we don't like this. We wanted to stay true to the source material, true to the books that we have been following all this time. He says, "Fuck off, you guys are racist." What sense does that make? Explain that to me, somebody. Right? Lord of the Rings fan site describes fans critical of the Rings of Power as toxic. Questions their fandom. Okay, Nerdrotic did a really good video where he broke down how essentially you had a showing of the first episode, like 20 minutes of the first episode. you had all these so-called Lord of the Ring fandom sites, essentially just shills, right? NPC shills who all have the Lord of the Rings banner in their profiles and all this other shit. They get flown out to London to see this 20-minute clip of the first episode, and of course, they had to sign the the NDA agreement. And when they all came out to do their little video talking about it, it was literally just the same cookie cutter bullshit. Well, at first I was skeptical of the Rings of Power, but the showrunners definitely showed me that this series is in good hands. Right? They literally just regurgitated that same thing verbatim. It was nauseating to see that. For a fact, when that shit comes out day one and it is terrible, all these people's credibility will be in the gutter. But that for a fact that's a lie. These same people who are shills, they won't ever face any type of retribution for shilling. Okay, they won't lose subscribers. They got paid. They will stay paid, like all these other blue check marks you see when they shield for Disney. Right now, all of a sudden, it's okay. It's okay to now shit on the new sequels that came out, new Dream movies that came out. It's now okay to shit on those, but all those people who were shilling for episodes 7, 8, and 9 back in the day, these people are still active. These people are still active shilling for other projects that Disney is essentially shooting out their buttholes. So at the end of the day, how can you attack your own fans and still expect your works to succeed? Who are you really making these new TV series for? Because the whole point of making these TV series is essentially you're saying, hey, we have a large fandom who are committed to our work, who will most likely buy a lot of this crap, right? These are the people that we need to keep because these are the people who will buy all of our merch. They'll buy our merch. They'll watch our shows. They'll go on Twitter and talk about how much they love it. And these are the people who are faithful to the series who will keep us financially stable as we try to broaden our horizons to bring on newer people, right? Because at the end of the day, if you are a creator, you want to stay relevant. You want to keep making new works to try to broaden your horizon. Because again, the fans that you used to have are when you first came out, 10 years down the line, those fans are now old, right? They're now old, and you're trying to get on this newer, fresher generation, right? That's okay, right? It's okay to do that. But hey, the newer generation don't have the money. They don't have the attention span to stay with your works as the past generation used to be able to, right? The past generation now have the big boy money to go out and actually be more committed to the lore, be more committed to the fandom, and buy your merch, watch your series, and actively engage in the fandoms, right? To sit there and then ditch those people, attack those people in hopes that, well, you can easily replace these older fans for the newer fans who that's stupid. You're now, the next generation has a much lower attention span. There's much more content out than it was before, right? Back when Percy Jackson first came out, there wasn't much stories like that. Now you're starting to see more and more stories similar to it. So now here you are ditching your old fans for newer fans, and now you're having a much more saturated market. You're having to compete for more all the different attention spans, all these different newer generation people. You sabotage yourself, but you're sabotaging yourself. Who is this really for? You're shitting on your own fans. That's crazy. As a writer, as somebody who wants to start creating my own comic books and things like that, actually making my own content, to attack my own fans, that's stupid, dude. No matter how, how many followers, how many people in my fandoms, right? No matter how many books I sell in the future or whatever, right? I'm never going to shit on my own fans, dude. I'm never going to ditch those guys. That's crazy. That's your bread and butter. Okay? It just makes no sense. It's like these people are I don't even know how to describe it, right? Somebody let me know, what is this phenomenon, right? Because I'm going to research this. I'm going to research this. Like, what is this new phenomenon of people, creators, who essentially are now trying to shit on their own fandoms, hoping that they can stay relevant, because that makes no sense, right? You saw that heavily when Teen Titans Go came out, right? All the original voice actors were shitting on the fans of the older generation who knew them. They knew these people from the original Teen Titans series. They didn't create their new series, and then they shit on their older fans. They're like, well, fuck you guys. We don't want you watching our shows anyway, right? What is this new phenomenon of shitting on the old fans because the fans just happen to criticize the new direction that you're taking your work? That makes no sense. Those people are your bread and butter. They're the reason why your show, your book series, or your comic book series, or whatever you want to call it, they're the reason why you are relevant, why you have money, why you're able to do what you do for a living. To then turn your back on them and shit on them, hoping that you can easily replace them, is stupid. It's not that easy. And you're starting to see a lot of more of these series failing, but the problem is that it just seems like you have more shills, right? These people have a lot of fake fans who seem to have more influence over the actual fandoms, and that's where it's getting kind of crazy. And I'm just like, what's really going on here? Like, what's the real big picture going on behind the curtains? But let me know your opinions of this down in the comment section below. Sorry if this video was long, but this is, as I openly talk about this stuff, it just kind of boggles my mind how this type of situation is constantly reoccurring, and yet for some reason it doesn't. In some ways these series are getting burned, and other ways these series aren't getting burned, and it just feels artificial to me. A lot of this feels artificial, like something is not as it really seems. And I'm probably going to do some research into this and try to get to the bottom, probably do a video about this. But let me know your opinions down in the comment section below. Like always, stay safe, stay sane, be vigilant, and I'll see you Patriots on a battlefield.